Christy. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to day one of my 2020 Valentine Card Series. Today I'm going to be making a card using Lawn Fawn's Winter Sparrows and Love Letters. So I've stamped out the images I'll be using on some Neenah Solar White cardstock. I'm coloring with my Copic markers and I'm using some yellows for my little bird. I wanted to do kind of like a canary or something like that. So I'm using Y11, Y13, and Y15. I started with the Y15 on the right hand side, doing a shadow from the back of the bird toward the front, and then also a little bit of that Y15 on the wings. And then I pulled forward with the Y13 and finished with the Y11. And I wanted to leave the belly white, so I did go back in with my colorless blender and kind of push the color out of the way there just to leave a little bit more white space. And then I'm moving on to the iPhone. I wanted it to be a rose gold phone, so I'm using YR000, YR00, and YR01. I just kind of outlined it a bit with that YR01 to do a little shadow. And then I'm pulling towards the center with the YR00 and then using a little YR000 for the highlight. And then I'm going to also use the YR01 to color in the bird's beak. Then I'll use BG10 to add just a little bit of color to the glass front and also to the little earmuffs on the bird, which I'm turning into headphones. And then I trim those out with the matching dies. For my focal panel, I'll be using a piece of Watercolor Wishes pattern paper, and I'm trimming that down with a Lawn Fawn stitched circle stackables die. And then I also cut out a piece of white cardstock to use as a backer, just to make it a little bit more thick and so that I can pop it up with some foam tape. And then I'm going to take 2 cloud die cuts from the Spring Showers die set. It also has that nice stitching detail, so I'll be adding those to my scene. First I'm going to add my branch, and by the way, I stamped that out using Lawn Fawn's walnut ink. And I'm just going to glue that down a little bit low of center on the left hand side there. And then I'm going to add my bird so it's sitting on the branch. I'm not going to glue it down yet because I want to be able to slip that cloud behind, but I wanted the bird there for placement. And then I can pop her out and just add a little bit of glue to the back of her as well and slide her back into place so that her feet are just a little bit tucked behind that branch. And then she's going to be holding on to the iPhone, but once again I'm going to do that same thing. I'm just going to set that phone in place, and then I can use that to adhere my clouds. I can adjust a little bit if necessary, just so that they look in proportion to everything, and then I can glue down that phone into her hand or wing, whatever you want to call it. So she's going to be listening to music on her wireless headphones while she is texting a little message to her love. So to do that, I'm going to take some music notes from the Christmas Fishes stamp set and a sentiment from Love Letters. So I will stamp those down with Memento Tuxedo black ink. So one of those little music notes is from the Winter Sparrows stamp set, and then the other two are from the Christmas Fishes. So I'm going to stamp those down nice and dark. I did stamp those down twice to get a good impression, or I actually just inked up the sentiment a second time. The music notes were fine. So I'll just set that aside and pop my card base in my MISTI next so that I can finish off the inside. And I'll be using Lawn Fawn's Peacock ink for that. So I'm stamping another sentiment from Love Letters as well as one of the birds, and then the little music note speech bubble is also from Christmas Fishes. So the pattern papers I'm going to be using for the outside of my card are from the Gotta Have Gingham pattern paper. That one I used the large stitch rectangle stackables to die cut, and then the other two are from the Fall Fling 6x6. So the one I die cut selectively with the Stitch Party Banner die, and then the other one I just used my paper trimmer to trim down. So the larger piece I'm going to glue down to cover the entire card base. And then I'm going to take this long flag banner and I'm going to glue that down on the left-hand side of the card. And then a little bit overlapping that, I'm going to take this little print that has leaves on it, but I thought they could also look like feathers. So I thought that would tie in well with our focal panel. So I'll glue that down right over top, and I want to leave the same amount of space on both sides of the card just so it's nice and balanced. Then I'll grab my focal panel, and I've added some Scotch 3M foam tape to the back of that to give it a little bit of lift. This is a pretty simple card, so it's nice to have a bit of dimension just to help it stand out. So I'll line that up nice and straight on the card and then press that down into place. As a finishing touch, I decided to just color in that little heart in the message bubble there. So I used YR02, which is just a shade darker than the darkest color I used on the phone, and just colored in that little heart to give it a nice little pop. And that is going to complete my card for today. So I'll lift that up to the camera so you can see all the detail and give you another peek at the inside. And that is going to complete my card for today. I did want to let you guys know that there is not going to be a card drive this year. I know in the past I usually do make the cards for St. Jude's Children's Hospital, but that is not being held this year. So the cards are just going to be for friends and family. I personally think this one would be great for a teen or preteen. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you'd like to keep on watching, here are 2 videos from day 1 of the previous 2 years of Valentine Card Series. I hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye.